This is July 4th my time, July 3rd back in the States. As of right now, Dame has not been traded. All that very well could have changed by the time this video actually goes up. We'll see, but if you guys have been watching the channel for a little while, you know that I'm a fan of the Portland Trail Blazers. Damian Lillard has been the face of the franchise since probably 2014, 2015, whenever it was that LaMarcus Aldridge left. Dame became the face of the franchise. Most people consider Dame the best Portland Trail Blazer of all time. And then, after much speculation, after some media reports throughout the season, things like that, came out a couple of days ago, maybe 3 or 4 days ago at this point, that Dame had requested a trade out of Portland. Now, after Portland got the number 3 pick and drafted Scoot Henderson with it, some people, myself included, thought that this could be coming on the horizon, but even knowing it was a possibility, it's still a bit of, like a gut punch when it actually happens, It's like if you're in a relationship with somebody and the relationship has issues, but then when they actually, tell you they want to break things off, it's different even if you saw it coming. Now I have a lot of thoughts around this whole thing, so I'm just going to ramble about it a little bit. I'm not going to have like a structured argument here. This is going to be very just like flow of consciousness off the top of my head. First and foremost is like, the first thing we talk about is like the ultimatum Dame kind of gave to the front office to bring in like another star player to play with him. And then like some of the talk that has occurred, talking about like how the team like is put an actual contender around Dame, or like never tried to like help him win or anything like that. And I think that argument about the team like never putting an actual contender around Dame, that in my opinion needs a little bit of a pushback. Because there was I think it was the 2019-2020 season when the Trailblazers made the trade to send Trent Jr. and other assets and stuff to Toronto in exchange for Norman Powell. I think Norman Powell cost 2 first-round picks plus Trent Jr., who was a guy that I was super high on. And then the Portland Trailblazers also brought in Robert Covington in that same offseason. So they had Norman Powell, and then they locked up Norman Powell on a pretty big contract. And they had Robert Covington, and that was kind of like the all-in move that a lot of people saw. They end up trading C.J. McCollum. They get back Larry Nance Jr. I'm trying to remember exactly who was in that deal. We got Larry Nance Jr., he got Josh Hart. But there were times where the front office did push chips in, giving up that team with Norman Powell. Robert Covington was supposed to be a lot better than it was. People were thinking, you finally have a good starting wing in Robert Covington, but then he came to Portland and he just was no longer the Robert Covington from before. He couldn't hit threes anymore. Josh Hart came, and then he refused to shoot 3-pointers the entire time he was in Portland. Josh Hart goes to New York Knicks, turns into an all-star level player in New York, but when he was in Portland, there was points where Josh Hart would be open on the perimeter and he wouldn't shoot the ball because his 3-ball was just he was so unconfident in it. So there has been times where the front office has pushed the chips in to try to win. I can't remember what season it was. It was the season that the Blazers beat the Nuggets to go to the Western Conference Final. I think that would be 2017, 2018, or 2018-2019 season. And that was the playoffs where, right before the playoffs started, Yusuf Nurkic, snapped his leg in half. Trailblazers get all the way to the Western Conference Final. And I think that's the year they lost to Golden State in the conference finals. But it was like in all those games, Portland was leading going into the half, but then like the third quarter would happen, and then like Portland would just like Golden State would go on a run in the third, and it was just over. But Portland would hang with Golden State in the first half of all those games, even though they ended up getting swept. And I think part of me is like always sort of contended that if Yusuf Nurkic was healthy that season where like Enes Kanter was like the starting center in the playoffs, I'll contend that like if Yusuf Nurkic is healthy and then you have Enes Kanter coming off the bench instead of starting, I think that team could have made the finals. But they were just so beat up, like there was just nothing at that point. They ran out of gas after beating Denver and OKC. And then realistically, a lot of just misguided choices. Like after the first round loss to the New Orleans Pelicans, I think that would have been 2015 or 2016. That first round series lost to the New Orleans Pelicans, where Dame got just like completely shut down by Drew Holiday. They needed to trade CJ and like completely retool the roster after that. I think the problem was shortly after that was when Paul Allen died. And then like the team just didn't really, kind of like stuck in limbo a little bit, so nothing ended up happening. But that moment, the team needed to retool, trade CJ to the Pelican series. And then, you know, the thing that does not get talked about enough is the 2017 draft. I honestly think at the 2017 draft, if they pick, because the Trailblazers had the 10th, they trade up, get the 10th overall pick in the 2017 draft, and they take Zach Collins at 10. The majority of you guys watching this video will not be able to tell me what team Zach Collins plays for. Actually, I don't even think he's signed right now, but he did last play for the Spurs last season. They drafted Zach Collins at 10. Players who were drafted after Zach Collins include Donovan Mitchell, Bam Adebayo, Kyle Kuzma. Those guys, I think there's a few more, maybe John Collins. But they took Zach Collins at 10. And apparently Damian Lillard was really wanting the front office to take either Donovan Mitchell or Bam Adebayo. They took Zach Collins instead. Bust. Wasted 10th overall pick. So there's been a lot of times where things haven't gone right. Bad drafts, bad contracts. You know, the Myers-Leonard and Evan Turner contracts famously kept the Trailblazers underwater through the mid to late 2010s. But then, you know, there's been times where they have tried and things have gone wrong, like the bad injuries. You know, Yusuf Nurkic going down, his legs snapping literally in half right before the playoffs start. You know, pushing the chips in on guys like Norm Powell, Larry Nance, Josh Hart, Robert Covington, and those guys just not performing. So I think that there have been attempts to put a good team around Dame, they've just fallen short. So I'm not going to be one of those people who said the front office never tried. I think they did try. Now I think the problem was the expectation of moving the 3rd overall pick to get Dame a superstar. As soon as everybody knew if they don't trade the pick, Dame might be available on the trade market. So teams aren't going to help you get out of your bind. They want Dame to hit the market, so they're not going to make the trade. So if Blazers were going to make the trade on that 3rd overall pick, they were going to get pennies on the dollar back for that pick. So it's like, okay, we can draft Scoot Henderson, or we can trade the 3rd overall pick for a guy like, I don't know, like, they probably don't even get a guy like Mitchell Robinson. Like, Mitchell Robinson probably wouldn't be on the table for that 3rd pick. They might be, like, I know some of the people wanted the Blazers to go after either Jaylen Brown or Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby or Pascal Siakam, or I think Paul George was talked about at one point, but it's like those guys aren't going to get offered up for the 3rd pick. If other GMs know if you don't trade the 3rd pick, Damian Lillard might be available on the trade market. draft Scoot. Now the problem comes, I have no problem with Dame asking for a trade. I mean, well, I do, but like I get it. But the problem comes is that he says, I want to go to Miami. Miami is the only place that I will sign a long-term extension. And Dame says something like he doesn't want either Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, or like a couple of the other guys to like get traded in a trade for him. So it's like you're purposely screwing over the Blazers on your way out the door. So it's like Dame has this legacy in Portland, right? Franchise GOAT, whatever. He has this legacy in Portland, but it seems like he's almost bound and determined to like burn those bridges and like throw that away on his way out the door, which is really weird and not really in line with what he has said in the past, right? Like, you look at some of the statements from Dame in the past. He wrote an entire song like dissing KD for ring chasing. He said something about like players running from the grind. He said something about like the grass isn't always greener. He was like referencing Russell Westbrook. How Westbrook was like the dude in OKC. Once Westbrook asks out of the team, like he's bounced around all over the league. Westbrook hasn't won a ring. Chris Paul hasn't won a ring. Like he referenced these things. Like if you ask for a trade, you don't always end up in a better spot. So part of me thought, like, even if they drafted Scoot, Dame would stay because he would realize, like, anywhere he would go, what they would have to give up to get him would make it so that team is no longer a contender. You know what I'm saying? Like, the team who trades for the big name player, with the exception of, like, the Raptors getting Kawhi Leonard, I feel like almost always do not win a ring the next season. Because you have to remember Kevin Durant was a free agent signing. The Warriors didn't give up a lot to get KD. He was a free agent signing. The only ones I can think of is Anthony Davis, but that took I think 2 years before they won a ring. It might have been one. Anthony Davis, but then again, that is Los Angeles, right? That's a free agent mecca. LeBron was there. I don't know, like I'm trying to think. The Clippers didn't win, the Nets didn't win. Famously, the Nets, like when they traded for like Kevin Garnett, all those guys, like that team didn't win. So I don't know, and then, but yeah, so Dame saying like, oh, I only want to go to Miami. Miami's the only place I'll play at long term, all this stuff. It's like you're hurting the team that, like, first of all, built you your legacy, gave you the contract, all that on your way out the door, and you're gonna, like, sour yourself with the fan base by doing that. And people were already, like, being critical of his behavior in the offseason. Like, that video got posted of, like, him at the club, and they were playing, like, Miami by Will Smith, all this stuff, so he's been very, like, flippant, very blasé about, like, the entire process. And that's really not sitting well with a lot of people, especially because, like, as a Blazers fan, the Miami trade package is awful. They don't have anything you want. They're offering, like, Tyler Hero. If you look at Miami's picks, they have a 2024 first, that's their pick, a 2026 first, that's their pick. But it's just, they don't really have the assets to get Dame. And Tyler Hero is a negative asset because there is talk that the only way Dame would end up in Miami is if it's a 3-team trade that's sending Tyler Hero to somewhere else. But then there was a report that came out yesterday, when you guys watched this video, that was saying, like, teams are demanding extra assets from Miami in exchange for Tyler Hero. Like, Tyler Hero is seen as a negative asset in the league. He has negative value because Hero is just not a good player. So for the Blazers, and there's a report saying like Joe Cronin is looking beyond Miami for trade partners, which thank God he is. So at the point where it's like, I don't care, like, Send Dame to Utah, dude. Like, whoever has the best package, take the best package. We're rebuilding with Scoop and Sharp, and that's what we're doing. But then today they're saying like the Boston Celtics might be in on Dame, the Clippers might be in on Dame. I'll have to see all the teams that listed. Let me find it. Clippers, Timberwolves, Pelicans, Boston Celtics have reached out to Portland to discuss trades. I feel like all those teams can make better packages than the Heat. I know for a fact that they can. Because with the Heat, it's like you're trading a Lamborghini for a used Kia Soul. Damian Lillard is a top 75 player of all time. Which, by the way, none of the guys on that Miami roster he's getting traded to made the top 75 list. Jimmy Butler is in top 75, Bambi's top 75. So Dame goes to Miami Heat, he becomes the best player on that team. Dame is in his prime right now. Dame's coming off the best season statistically of his entire career. Even though he's 32. So he has 3 more years in his prime, realistically. So you want to be getting back either a good player or prospects plus multiple picks, 3, 4, 5 picks. If Rudy Gobert can get the haul that Rudy Gobert got, Dame can get way more than that. You're talking about a guy who multiple-time All-Star, all this stuff, his accolades. So the package needs to represent how good the player is. Now again, gutting your roster to add Dame. Are you gonna be good enough to win a ring with him if you trade everybody you have to get him? Probably not. That's the risk of trading for a player like that. But I don't know. The whole thing is just a mess, and I really hope that we don't get screwed in the trade in some way. If somehow Dame torpedoes any trade that's outside Miami, I do not like any package that Miami can offer. Like, I don't see what assets they have that help the Blazers at all. I don't. And, with the way Miami fans have been acting about the whole situation, I really just don't want to get them just, as a middle finger to them. Because they've been, they almost feel like they've, deserved to get Dame. It's like, you were just in the finals. But the thing is, too, Miami just lost a bunch of role players in free agency, so it's like, are they even going to be the best team in the East next season, even if they do get Dame? I don't know. And honestly, as petty as I am, if Dame leaves, I don't want him to win a ring. I'm a Blazers fan, I'm not a Dame fan. Dame's one of my favorite players because he's on my team, but dude, if you leave, alright, it's Scoot now. But I don't know, that's just some thoughts I have. It's with the Blazers being so close to getting the number 1 pick and then not getting in, I really thought we had a shot at Victor. If we drafted Victor, Dame probably would still be on the team. He probably wouldn't be asking for a trade because Victor's a win-now player, but I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be taking a step back from watching the NBA next season. I just don't. Without Dame on the team's going to be bad. I might watch a game here or there just to see Scoot and Sharp and, Rupert and Murray, whoever else, but I feel like I'm really just not going to have the stomach to watch NBA basketball next season, so I'm probably not going to be doing any NBA videos this coming year. It's going to be, just in advance, I'm probably going to be talking about the NBA for at least, I don't even know, maybe a year from now I'll make a video talking about the NBA. I can't really say, but I'm going to be all in on the NHL next season. I'm going to be, I just don't think I have the stomach for basketball right now, but that's my thoughts on the situation.